Welcome to Meet Me Halfway. I'm Jordan Griffith. He is Austin McNorton. We are so sorry for the extended break.
We're back.
We're back. We're back in the saddle again. We're sorry for the extended break. It was as tough for us as it was for you. So first we had Austin coming down, so we missed the two shows that week, and I was in Wichita, so we missed that show on the Thursday. And Austin was interviewing for a job, so he was going to camp, and Austin got some news for you guys as well. Austin.
Yeah, so I went to a 10-day radio camp in Missouri. Met this guy. God met me with this other guy, and I'm going to be the play-by-play voice for a high school football team in Missouri. So, step number one in the career of sports broadcasting.
Well done. Congratulations. And it sounded like you got that job in a back alley the way you just described it to me. You got a guy that knew another guy, and then next thing you got a job. So,
yep, exactly.
Best way to get a job.
100% how it went down. I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
All right. Well done. Well, congratulations, Austin. But now you're back in the real business, and that is Meet Me Halfway. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk a lot of NFL. But I'm sorry, guys, we're not quite there with league predictions and season total wins and division wins.
Too many people getting injured at this time of year.
There are too many variables that might go down, so we are keeping those mental notes of who we like, who don't like. I know for a fact right now, barring injury, of course, I have, I think, one or two teams that I predict worst to first finishes this year in their division. So stay tuned for that, but, of course, barring injury. So a lot of stuff's going to play out, so we're going to watch preseason, kind of gauge who we're looking to pick. But we're going to go with the most interesting storyline of my lifetime in preseason football. Antonio Brown, who we thought was going to be a surefire thing, going from a distracted Pittsburgh Steeler to a relaxed Oakland Raider with a coach that was laid back, coach that loved players to interact with him, talk to him, joke around, poke fun at him. But we're seeing kind of the same stuff from Antonio Brown right now. So let's go with the first thing. Two things so far. First thing.
Two of probably the most just bizarre things that you think, oh, they're just making that up. We're not. This is real.
100%. You literally cannot make this kind of stuff up. So, first thing, he comes into training camp. He has injured feet, not foot, injured feet. So both of them, he has frostbite on the bottom of his feet. His feet are literally eating away the skin. His feet are disgusting. let me say that. But most of all, he's not able to go 100%. But then if you watch, Austin, did you get a chance to watch Hard Knocks? Did you watch the first episode?
I did not.
Okay. So he has frostbite on his feet. The trainer is limiting him from going 100% in order to save his feet, right? So he's going 100% in these practices, and he's come back to the doctor and saying, hey, my feet hurt. Well, I told you not to go 100% on your feet. Otherwise, this is going to keep happening. So he's not following the training protocol, it sounds like, as according to Hard Knocks. And he has frostbite on his feet, and that was caused from a cryogenic chamber gets like a minus 130 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, whatever it is.
Was he wearing shoes?
He was barefoot. Now we don't know. I don't know. I've heard reports that it was his fault and not his fault at the same time. So I don't know exactly how that happened. So moving past the frostbite. Number two.
Which seems more or less just like a freak deal that you're like, that?
Right.
Are you serious?
Right. And it's also nothing to mess around with. This is a serious injury that he needs to truly try and rehabilitate. You cannot just mess around with this kind of stuff. But number two. Antonio Brown wants to wear his helmet that he wore in Pittsburgh. So much so that he has had hour-long phone calls with the NFL office, with the commissioner's office, attempting to get this helmet for him to play this season in. He does not like the new helmet that he has been assigned like the rest of the NFL. So much so, he will retire if he does not get the helmet that he wants. Now, Austin, does he have a point? Should a player have any say as to what equipment they decide to wear for their own safety or lack thereof?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the NFL kind of knows what they're doing. They come out with these new safety things. They're trying to protect you. So they're saying, that helmet's not safe. Use the one that is. We're trying to protect you so that you don't end up dead in 20 years because you got hit too many times in the head. We're trying to protect you. And he's like, well, I just have so many memories with this helmet and so many other things. Tom Brady went on the radio yesterday and he said, yeah, I don't really like the new helmet either. And I kind of miss my old helmet because I won 4 Super Bowls in it, but I'm just going to move ahead and go along with it. Like, you have no added value compared to what Tom Brady has. He's like, he has more memories in his helmet than anyone else ever.
Ever.
So it's like, if he won 4 Super Bowls in his helmet and he's willing to sit it aside so that he can be, more safe, then I feel like you should too. And here's the other thing. He's not going to retire. He's not going to turn down, $30 million for a helmet?
Right.
He's not going to do that. So it's so stupid for him to bring up this attention and put the Raiders in a bad light. And it brings me to a question I was going to ask you. If you're a GM or an owner, what do you do with this situation? Because I know for a fact if I'm bringing Antonio Brown to my team, I'm like, yes, you're talented. I want you because you're talented. But I don't want you to be crazy in the media and stir up all this drama. That's not what I want on my team. You're bringing bad light to my team, and I don't want that. What do you do if you're the owner now and say, well, shoot, I want this guy to play football for us, but on the other hand, it's like, what's he going to say next?
Right. It's kind of tough because, I don't really think there's a whole lot you can do because you signed him to this massive contract now, so you have to keep him. You cannot move him until the salary starts to decrease, and then you're able to either cut him and save some cap or trade him away from someone who's going to take that on. No one's taking Antonio Brown right now. I guarantee you right now, if they were to put Antonio Brown on the trade market, you would have 0 bettors. I almost can guarantee that with his contract, tailed with his age and the distraction.
He's stirring up drama everywhere he goes. A little bit in Pittsburgh, and now he hasn't even played a game for Oakland, and there's already 10 storylines.
So I guess as an owner or a GM, you just got to let it play out. He's going to play. I doubt if he does retire, then hey, you don't have to pay him that money. So then you're all out of a contract all of a sudden. That's not so bad. So if he retires, that's not the worst thing. For a team that you want to be contending with John Gruden right now and Mike Mayock being the GM, both coming from TV. You like the TV guy, Antonio Brown, big star, just the face of your franchise. But there's not really a whole lot you can do right now. It's kind of have to let this play out because this is ridiculous. So back to Antonio Brown with the helmet. Are seatbelts this kind of are meant for certain people, but then don't apply to others because no, I like my seatbelt better. I like my belt that I work better. No. You're gonna wear the seatbelt because it's what we have assigned for you to wear. He's Antonio Brown, so he
brand new seatbelt in the brand new car that's proven to be really safe compared to my other one that I have memories in.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and save my life.
I understand that he believes that he should have a say in what he puts on his body out there, but say a guy comes to you and says, hey, I don't want to wear a helmet out there. How about that? I have the right to put whatever I want on my body. I don't want to wear cleats. I want to go out there barefoot. You have the right to say whatever on your body. I don't want shoulder pads. I can go out there and I can stick my freaking shoulders in people's guts. It's on your body. You're the one choosing it. There is a precedent that you're setting if you let him take that helmet that he wants to wear. You have to wear what every single other NFL player is. 2,000 other players, other than you, Antonio Brown, that are wearing this helmet and that are not saying anything about it or fighting or threatening to retire because of it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I think what Tom Brady said makes him look even more foolish than he already did.
Exactly.
He's like,
it does.
I won 4 Super Bowls in mine, and I'm setting it aside.
He says,
you have nothing to combat that at all.
It's 100% victim mentality. He's saying, you know what? Now I can't play. Now I'm not going to be able to do what I was able to do because I have this magical helmet that I'm not going to be able to play in. It's ridiculous, actually. So I kind of get the fact of kind of like a human civil right. I want to put what I want on my body you can't control that. I understand that. That kind of gets a little bit outside of football, I believe, as a human right to put whatever you think is on or in your body. But this is regulation. You do not have to play football. There are 2,000 other players that are doing this that are not throwing the fit that you are throwing.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
I know Chiefs fans are getting a kick out of it, though.
Okay. Oh, I love it. I love Hard Knocks being there. Every time there's a Hard Knocks story. And this is only week 1 of Hard Knocks. So tomorrow night, we're going to get a whole nother story. I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to laugh my ass off the entire time. I absolutely love it. Okay. More NFL news. Something hits a little close to home there for you, Austin. In case you guys don't know, Ezekiel Elliott, running back for the Dallas Cowboys, has been holding out. He is still in Cabo currently. And there have been just a media circus around this story right now. So he has 2 years left. So he has this entire year and the year after this under control for the Cowboys. They have him under contractual control. He wants a new deal right now, and he says he will miss games in order to get that deal. So Jerry Jones, this was, I believe, a week or so ago. We missed quite a bit, by the way. Jerry Jones says you don't need a leading rusher. This is not verbatim, okay? This is approximation. You do not need a leading rusher to win a Super Bowl. So that is definitely a shot towards Ezekiel at 100%, saying that, hey, we don't need to pay him. We don't need him to win a Super Bowl. We can do it all with the guys that we have right now. So should the Cowboys pay him?
I understand it from both sides. I really do. I understand he's one of the best 5 backs in the league, if not the best back in the league.
I believe so.
And so when it comes down, he's only getting paid, I think he's like 11th or 12th in terms of pay when it comes to running backs. And so I understand where he's coming from. He's like, look, I'm one of the best backs in the league. I deserve to get paid like it. But the Dallas Cowboys have other problems to worry about. Amari Cooper being one of them, and Dak Prescott being another big one of them. So I understand it. I personally think we need Zeke. The Dallas Cowboys need Zeke. He's one of the best, if not the best. We need him. But when it comes down to it, I have always had this mindset of I'd rather pay an offensive lineman. I'd rather pay a quarterback. I'd rather pay a wide receiver. Guys who can last 6, 7, 8 years rather than 2, 3 years, like running backs tend to do. I mean, it's they get hit the most. They're not going to last as long. It's just fact. It's just fact of the game of football. So if I'm Jerry Jones, I think I wait. I think I wait, not paying the man, unless like the season is just going really down. You start out 0-4, then it's like, okay, we do need you. But if you start out 3-1, 2-2, you're like, okay, we're fine. We don't need him. Our offense is fine. We can pay Amari Cooper. We can pay Dak and be fine. With our solid offensive line, we can put anyone back there and be fine. So I'm on the cusp of let's just wait. I think Jerry Jones kind of has this mindset too. I'm going to do it on my time, not the media's time. I'm going to do it on my time, not Zeke's time. He's not going to tell me when I need to pay him. I'm going to pay him when I want to pay him. And so I'm on that side of things. I don't need to pay him right now. I can pay him if I need him, and I might not. That's my mindset.
So this is a very interesting situation because this is a guy that has 2 years left of control, 2 full years left.
It's not like Le'Veon Bell where he sat out a year and then he's a free agent.
When he gets franchise tagged several times with zero security.
Exactly.
This is not that case. Zeke has 2 years left of control. I'm going to keep saying that because that, I think, is the most important part of this. After this, we will talk about, do we support NFL players holding out for bigger contracts? So he has 2 years left on his deal. Zeke is not exactly a upstanding citizen outside of the football field. This is a guy that Jerry Jones himself, one of the most powerful men in America, by the way, not just football, America, has to go to bat for this guy twice. When he first got suspended, which was a bogus suspension, which I think all of us can attest to. And then this offseason in Vegas, when he gets detained for just going crazy in Las Vegas. So you're 3 years in. He's going into his 4th year now. They have 2 years left of control again. I'll say that again. I've already had to go bat for you twice. You've only been in the league 3 years. And all of a sudden, you want to come to me for a new contract before your contract's up. So I've done everything I can for you twice. He has never said a bad word about Ezekiel Elliott before this contract negotiation. Never once has Jerry Jones slandered Ezekiel Elliott's name before this contract negotiation. All of a sudden, Jerry Jones turns on Ezekiel Elliott. Because I've gone to bat for you twice, which should never happen. I should never have to do that in the first place. And you want a new contract that might cripple my team 2 years before you're up. Are you kidding me? Yeah. No. I'm telling you right now, Austin, you trade Ezekiel Elliott. You do not give him this money. This is a man that has zero appreciation for what Jerry Jones has done for him. And I'm usually pro player. I usually support this kind of stuff. But with 2 years left on your deal, you have the security. You are still on the rookie deal plus the option. And yet, you are coming to me trying to cripple my team with your 20, 30, whatever he's going to get paid, 15, 20 a year, $1 million a year. When I can give that to Dak, I can get that to Amari or Travis Frederick or Zach Martin or I know Tate just got paid or Byron Jones. You're coming to me with 2 years left on your deal.
Byron Jones is a really good one. We need to pay that man.
Right. And you have the most baggage outside of the football field. And you have 2 years left. And you want to be paid one of the most paid running backs in NFL history. Get out. I'm serious. Get out of this building. I can't fathom how he is still even being considered a Dallas Cowboy. It's terrible. You trade Ezekiel Elliott today.
Who would trade for him?
A lot of teams would trade for him because they would actually pay him. I wouldn't say it's a foolish investment because I think he is worth the money because I do think he is the best running back in the NFL by a wide margin, personally. I've always been an Ezekiel Elliott fan. I think he's a beast on the field. I think a lot of teams would trade for him, but I'm not paying that price. I'm not paying that price for a guy that I've had to defend twice that I should never have to in the first place. Yeah. And he wants to jump ahead of someone else for getting a deal. You want to jump ahead of Byron Jones for getting paid. You want to jump ahead of Amari Cooper getting paid. You want to jump ahead of Dak Prescott getting paid. No, that's not how this stuff works. You are not getting paid right now. As a matter of fact, I don't even want you on the team. That's how I would look at it.
I think Jerry will be a little more lenient because he's like, oh, I drafted you. You're best friends with Dak, and the fans love you, and you've put us back in title contention. So I think it'll be a little harder to let go than that. But, boy, that's a really interesting point that I haven't heard. But
also what's happening is Stephen Jones, also one of the owners, he came out and he said he basically flipped the argument. He no longer made it about the owners versus Ezekiel Elliott. He basically said that Ezekiel Elliott is trying to jump ahead of these guys and he's trying to turn Zeke against his own team. He's trying to turn it rather the other way, his team against Zeke, because Dak Prescott's looking like, hey, no. I deserve that money just as much as he does. Amari Cooper is saying, no. I deserve money just as much as both of you do.
Yeah.
And apparently Zeke is now trying to jump ahead of those guys. You cannot let that happen, especially for a position that is not a premium position.
Exactly.
So
and then that's what it's like, oh well, Le'Veon Bell did it, but it's a totally different situation because of the 2-year deal.
Listen, okay.
And plus, Le'Veon Bell lost a lot of money by what he did.
Right, he did.
He lost $30 million. A lot of money. Yeah.
A lot of money by what he did. Also, Le'Veon was getting railroaded by the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? He was getting franchise tagged, told he was getting an extension every single year. Bam, slap you with another tag. Bam, slap you with another tag. He says, I'm tired of this. I have no security, especially for my position.
Yeah.
I need to go get paid somewhere else, somewhere that's not going to go 1-year deals in case I go down and I break a wheel and I cannot get back up and play. So Zeke has all of the security that he has for a running back position right now. Listen, so the only guys that get paid with 2 years left on their deal are quarterbacks and guys like Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, and even those guys go into the last year of their deals. You never renew guys 2 years before they're up unless they are a quarterback, okay? Yeah. Aaron Donald went into the last year of his deal. Khalil Mack went into the last year of his deal. Ezekiel Elliott? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not going to pay.
Is Zeke as valuable to the Cowboys as those guys are to their teams?
I would say he is very valuable. But I think
that's why I think it makes it so hard because he's 70% of the Cowboys' offense.
Right, but you've had 3 1,000-yard rushers behind that offensive line. Pretty much the exact same offensive line. You've had 3 1,000-yard rushers. I know you love DeMarco Murray, but DeMarco Murray didn't play well at all once he left Dallas. He was not even close to what he was when he was with Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott looks like the best running back in the NFL. I do believe he is. But I'm not 100% convinced that they need Ezekiel Elliott to win. I'm not. Yeah, so I think you trade Zeke today.
So what do you think will end up happening?
I think they'll end up caving and probably end up paying him because Jerry Jones is too emotional. He loves his guys, but he's a smart owner, and that's why they come out and they've been saying all this stuff. They turn the argument against Zeke to the players rather than Zeke against the owners. That really helps you when it comes to the contract negotiations. Says, hey, man, Dak's not very happy with you. Amari, Byron, these guys aren't happy with you. Leighton Vander Esch, they're not happy with you because they're trying to take their money too because we can't pay all of you guys. So I like what Jerry Jones has been doing.
Not the exact same mindset that you do. Pay your quarterback, wide receivers, and offensive linemen first. I've always thought that.
Right. I mean, I love running backs, but right now, it at least in this point in the game, this evolving NFL that we're seeing, it is a position that can be replaced. And I hate to say it because I love the running back position. And one of my favorite players ever, Jamal Charles. He was a running back, one of the best to ever do it for the Chiefs. I mean, he got replaced pretty fast by Kareem Hunt. It really is not a premium position anymore. So I think you trade Ezekiel Elliott. I'm done with the off the field issues. I go to bat for you, and then all of a sudden you turn against me. I don't like that. So while we're on the topic, talking about NFL players holding out, going into the last year of their deal, holding out in training camp and then OTAs, saying they want a new contract, saying they want more money. Do you usually support NFL players doing that, or do you not like the attention it brings?
I understand the point of holding out and wanting more money. I get that. But I still think that you should show up to training camp and be there with your teammates. Show that, like what Chris Jones did for the Chiefs. Yep. He's like, I want a new contract. I want more money, but I'm still going to be here with my teammates, practicing with their teammates because I want to be here with this team and help this team win. I think it just makes so much sense to say, rather than say, well, I'm just not going to show up at all. I want money and I'm not going to play until I get it. Really? I mean, if you want to be a part of the team and get more money, then go be with the team and set all the business stuff aside until you're off the field. But go play. Go be a part of some of the preseason stuff. Go to training camp. I think what Chris Jones did is perfect. He's like, yeah, I want a new deal, but I'm still going to be here and help this defense because they need it. So I'm going to help them. Rather than just saying, nope, I'm not touching the football until I get money. Really? I mean, I think that just brings a bad light to you personally and your team as a whole. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys training camp, are they talking about how well Amari Cooper and Dak are playing? I haven't heard that once.
Nope.
He talked about how Travis Frederick back and helping the offensive line? Nope. It's just a black cloud over the entire team because of Zeke's not there. When he could be there and say, wow, look at how he's playing, even though he wants more money. That's all that would be said. No, I mean, it wouldn't be this huge cloud of, where's Zeke? Everyone, all the fans there, where's Zeke? It's a bad light on the player and the team itself.
I definitely agree with the bad light part of it, but I'll go ahead and say I think it is necessary. So this is kind of a deep dive. So give me a minute here. The NFLPA blows. The NFL union for the Players Association absolutely sucks. It is the worst thing ever. They're the worst of all the major sports by a wide freaking margin. So much so that these players do not have guaranteed contracts. So you're telling me that I could cut you, save $10 million, I could go sign someone younger producing almost the same amount as you. The NFL has 11 players on each side of the ball. There are so many more guys that can be replaced. You take out LeBron James, say even if he doesn't have a guaranteed contract, you're not replacing that value because there are less players on the team. There is more value in each individual player. NFL is not like that. You can have a slot cornerback that's playing out of his mind. You cut him, put a good slot corner in there, you're almost just as good as you were before. Maybe a little worse, but that's not the worst thing ever. So I almost always support NFL players holding out. Zeke is one case where I do not. I do not support players holding out before their time is due. That is telling me, once again, I'll use this metaphor one more time. You are trying to cut ahead of the line in front of guys that it is their turn to get paid. Imagine you're in a lunch line just at school, and you say, let's imagine you got Julio Jones at the front. He gets his money, goes to the back of the line, cuts right back to the front and says, hey, no, I want more money. That's not how this stuff works. You get paid when you get paid. You go into the last year of your deal. You hold out because that is the only, go back to the Players Association, because there are no guaranteed contracts, the only leverage that they have is just to not play. Now, I still would not go to training camps and OTAs. I know you said you think you still would as part of team building, show that you still want to be a part of the team, which I 100% agree with. But I still would not attend. It's the only leverage you have. You still have just as much of a chance to get injured in training camp as you do in a preseason game. That's where guys come off the couch. They're rusty. Sometimes they get serious injuries. So I would not play until I get a new deal. I would even sit out regular season games because it is the only leverage that they have. The NBA is not like that. They have guaranteed contracts. The MLB, boy, their union pretty damn good. Their union is about as good as it gets, okay? You're getting 13-year deals. You want stability? There you go, Bryce Harper. There you go, Manny Machado.
Exactly.
So I do support these guys holding out, going into the last year of your deal. A quarterback going into – usually quarterbacks get re-upped within the second year. So Patrick Mahomes is probably going to get re-upped after this season. But it's the only leverage they have once again. So I 100% support it in most cases. There are rare cases like Ezekiel Elliott going into not even the last year of his deal, and he still wants to cut ahead of other people. Julio Jones last year, I was a very big advocate against him. He's trying to cut in front of guys like Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, who eventually got their contracts, but that's not the point. He cut in front of them twice. He got paid, cut back in front of them again, got paid again. That's not how this stuff works. You get paid when you get paid, and don't complain about the contract because you signed it too. So that's where I'm at. Until they get guaranteed contracts, if they do and there's still guys holding out, what are you doing? I don't understand that at all. But guaranteed contracts probably won't ever happen for the NFL. They keep this up with the NFLPA because they blow.
Why don't you think it'll happen? Oh, just because.
Well, it's almost impossible now with, once again, the replaceability of players because it's the owners against the players. That's how it's always been. You have 32 NFL owners that have most of the power in the NFL. NBA, the players have the power. MLB, I mean, I don't even know, but maybe the players have the power. MLB is kind of a whole other thing, but the NBA, the players have 100% of the power. In NFL, it's all of the owners, and of course, if I'm an owner, I want non-guaranteed contracts. Why would I want a guaranteed contract? Because if I sign Eric Berry, as per se, Eric Berry, if you realize, Austin, played about 1 to 2 quarters of that contract that he got from John Dorsey for the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, I don't want a guaranteed contract. Eric Berry still be on this team causing a $20 million cap hit. Of course, I don't want a guaranteed contract. So I don't think it'll ever happen because the NFLPA has they're not very – of course, I'm not going to go into it too much because I don't understand exactly how that job works. But I know the fact that they still don't have guaranteed contracts, and I don't think they ever will. Okay, going back to the Cowboys, I wanted to just kind of have a real quick hot take here. Okay. I was just sitting around thinking, I was like, how is this possible? Okay, so stick with me, Austin.
Okay.
How many teams in the NFL have more than one player that is the best player at that position? Just guess. How many players? So say you have Bobby Wagner. Let's say, right. How many teams? So let's say you have Bobby Wagner and say he's the best middle linebacker in the NFL. How many players outside of Bobby Wagner on Seattle Seahawks do they have another player that is the best at their position? Is there even one team?
The Chiefs, maybe.
The Chiefs.
You could say tight end and quarterback.
Tight end. I think is definite quarterback. Yeah, maybe, and even then you're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have about 4 or 5. Okay, bear with me. So Zeke, I think, has established himself as the best running back in the NFL. If not, he is top 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Let's go out wide. Amari Cooper. He's a top 10 to 15 receiver. Okay, still a top receiver in the NFL. And then I believe they have some of the 3 best offensive linemen in the NFL. I think the best center with Travis Frederick when he is healthy. I think the best guard with Zach Martin when he is healthy. And I think the second best left tackle with Tyron Smith when he is healthy. Okay, so that's already 4. Okay. Let's go to defense. Demarcus Lawrence, top 10, top 5 pass rusher in the NFL. Let's not even include him.
Byron
Jones, who could possibly have the best season a cornerback had last season. He's a top 5 guy.
Yeah.
So at the minimum, you have 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Leighton Vander Esch, who's a top 5 outside linebacker. Jalen Smith, who's a top, I think 4. I think he's probably, I was going through my head. I think he's 4 or 5, probably best middle linebacker in the NFL. Leighton Vander Esch, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Byron Jones. How is this team not winning a Super Bowl? Austin, how is this team not winning a Super Bowl?
I don't know. It's so depressing.
You could not name me one other team in the NFL that had 2 players on that team that were the best in the NFL at their respective position. Not one other than the Dallas Cowboys, and they have 5 of them. How is this team not winning a Super Bowl?
I don't know. It's so depressing.
It's either Jason Garrett or it's Dak Prescott. This season, you're going to find out who it is, because I don't think the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl this year. One of the 2 has to go after this year. If you do not win a Super Bowl, one of the 2 has to go. There is no reason this team should not win a Super Bowl. Let me go over again.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott, best running back in the NFL. Travis Frederick, best center in the NFL. Zach Martin, best guard in the NFL. Tyron Smith, second best left tackle in the NFL behind David Bakhtiari of Green Bay. Amari Cooper, top 15 receiver. Demarcus Lawrence, top 5 defensive end. Leighton Vander Esch, top 3 outside linebacker. Jalen Smith, top 5 middle linebacker. Sean Lee, he's a very good player when he gets healthy. Never is, though.
That's so true.
Byron Jones, top 5 cornerback. Jordan Lewis, one of the best young slot corners we have. Awuzie, one of the best left corners we have. You guys aren't winning a Super Bowl?
Why not?
How is this possible?
I don't know. I think it really comes down to coaching and quarterback play. We don't have Drew Brees. We don't have Jared Goff. We don't have Patrick Mahomes.
That shows you the gap between how much you need a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
They are, truly.
I truly believe this, okay? Now, it will never happen, and if it does, I'll cry my eyes out. If you replace Dak Prescott with Patrick Mahomes, the Cowboys would have 16-0 seasons every single year, and I truly believe that. Being a person that 100% believes that NFL Sundays are nothing more than just an accumulation of insane moments that you cannot change. But with Patrick Mahomes at the helm, the Cowboys would absolutely go 16-0 this season.
Oh, yes.
That tells me a lot about Dak. That tells me a lot about Jason Garrett as well.
Oh.
So, after this season, one of the 2 has to go. If you do not,
what do you think it will happen? Because I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll both be
right.
back.
You're absolutely right. It won't happen, but it needs to happen. If they go to the Super Bowl, okay, yeah, okay, I understand that. If they don't go to the Super Bowl this year, one of the 2 has to go.
I think the only way that it would happen is if we miss the playoffs. That's the only way I could see it happening.
Yeah,
Or an injury or something. Because if Dak gets injured, then it's like, oh well, it's just because Dak was injured. But
right.
if everything is healthy and everyone's still there, if we don't make the playoffs, something has to happen. Something has to happen.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to college football because there's one topic I really want to talk about. It's very
I like this topic.
Yeah, it's a very hot topic here. So Dabo Swinney, the Clemson Tigers won the national championship last year after blowing out Alabama. Excuse me, they did not blow themselves out in the game. So they beat Alabama, and then Kelly Bryant, who was the starting quarterback for the first 4 games of this season, who then transferred to Missouri midway through the season after being beat by Trevor Lawrence for the starting quarterback position. They're not giving Kelly Bryant a ring. Now, Dabo Swinney agrees with this decision, saying that he was not on the team, so therefore he does not get a ring. Austin, do you believe that this should be the case? Do you think he should get a ring?
No, he should not get a ring.
Wow.
I mean, so when you look at it, he played 4 games of the season, and in those 4 games, they were pretty relatively meaningless when it comes to it. Clemson did not need Kelly Bryant to win those 4 games. It's not like they're like, oh man, it's good thing we had you. We wouldn't have won the national championship if you didn't play in those 4 games. That's not the case. You didn't help them win a national championship. You quit on the team. If you quit on the team, you don't deserve the ring that the team won, that you left. I mean, if he would have stayed on the team to help Trevor Lawrence, then yeah, absolutely. But you said, nah, I'm out. Good luck with your freshman quarterback. You're going to need it. Attitude. That's the way attitude that it came across to me as, saying, oh, well, you think he's better than me? Well, then screw you. I'm out. It's like, good luck. When in reality, he could have been like, you know what? I'm going to stay here. I'm going to help. Maybe this kid is better than me. But if he's not, I want to be here to help my team rather than leaving. You know, when you get replaced, leaving. I don't understand it. I don't understand his gripe for wanting a ring. He wasn't there for that national championship. He wasn't there for 8 games of the season. Sorry. You don't deserve it to me. Those 4 games did not help Clemson win a national championship.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Kind of in a different way, though. I think you're hitting on a little more toward the middle. I don't really care about who he played or how many games he was there. To me, and people kind of defend Kelly Bryant by saying, well, you know, guys who get traded halfway through the year, you know, they still get a ring in professional sports and stuff like that. See, the difference is they didn't have a say in that. If you get released midway through the season, you still do get a ring because you were on the team. You didn't quit on the team, just like you were saying. Kelly Bryant quit on the Clemson Tigers. He said, I want to go play for Missouri. I don't want to be a backup to Trevor Lawrence anymore. I wasn't on the team during the national championship run, but I still want a ring because I was on the team. No. You forfeited your right to be on the team because you quit. You were not released. If you're released from scholarship, I would 100% say he needs a ring. You were not traded. You cannot trade in college football. You were 100% voluntarily removed from the Clemson Tigers roster because of yourself. Not because Dabo Swinney said, hey, don't want this kid here. Release him.
Yeah, not saying, hey, I don't want you here anymore. Leave.
No, that's not what happened. You, by yourself, Kelly Bryant, said, I do not want to be here. I want to transfer. I want to enter the transfer portal. You made the decision. You do not get a ring. You quit on the team.
Yeah. It seems pretty simple to me. I don't understand. I really don't understand the other side of it. I mean,
now if he was released from scholarship, I would say that he deserves a ring because
that's out of his control.
Because that's out of his control. That is not something that he did. So I think 100% if he was released from scholarship, he deserves a ring. But no way in the world I think I'd give it to a guy who quit on my team.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Dabo Swinney's a good guy.
He is a good Christian.
A very good guy. Wouldn't just stand his ground and be like, oh, no, I'm Dabo Sweeney. I'm going to be mean. Like, no, he's like, no, this kid quit on me, so he doesn't deserve what we got. Like,
and also the reason he quit is because he just wasn't good enough. That's another big thing. It's not like he was, disagreeing with the scheme or he didn't like how he was being represented. No. It was because Trevor Lawrence is better than he was. That's just the cold hard truth about it. So no, he does not deserve a ring. Usually I would say yes, but this was.
Does this hurt Kelly Bryant's draft stock?
He's not getting drafted anyways.
Probably.
I don't have any use for a guy who can't throw the ball that well. I'm sorry. Kelly Bryant's not a great quarterback. He came in as a very high prospect backing up Deshaun Watson. People were saying, oh, man, this is going to be the next guy after Deshaun Watson's gone. Man, this Kelly Bryant dude is the truth. And he just wasn't that great of a thrower. Trevor Lawrence mammoth him in that.
Trevor Lawrence is pretty good.
He is. Okay, moving on, top fives. We're actually going to do 2 sports ones. We've been gone so long, I felt, we got to get back on the sports kick. So, top 5 storylines.
Don't worry, we still have Fact or Fiction for all you non-sports people.
Yes, we got Fact or Fiction right after this one, after our Twitter poll question. But these are top 5 storylines in training camp. So, awesome. Take it away.
So, number 5, I'll start from 5 down. Number 5, I'll go with the Bears running back situation. Who's it going to be? I don't think anyone really knows. And it's just so much controversy over because it used to be, is Mitch Trubisky going to be the guy? And now everyone's like, oh, man, he's kind of the guy. Oh, man, the Bears defense is actually pretty darn good. Let's kind of focus on this offense a little bit more. Oh, man, do we really have a running back? Maybe we should figure that out. Number 4, I have Zeke. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because of all the things you talked about with the Dallas Cowboys. They're such a promising team. But just this cloud of not even talking about how well the team's playing at all. I mean, it's not being mentioned. Number 3, the Giants quarterback situation. I don't know if anyone really paid attention, but Daniel Jones played pretty well in that preseason game. Granted, against, the second unit. So I'm a little more hesitant of watching preseason games too, but not bad. Not bad. And honestly, this isn't just a training camp storyline. This is something Jordan and I have said is going to be a storyline all season long.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop talking about the Giants quarterback situation at the whole season. The whole season. Right. Eli Manning makes a bad throw. People are going to be like, well, where's Daniel Jones at? And Daniel Jones comes in and throws an interception. Well, he sucks. Bring back in Eli. We're never going to stop talking about this situation. Number 2, Baker and the Browns. My goodness. I think if Hard Knocks would have went back to Cleveland, people would have been fine with it because it's just OBJ, of course, being thrown into the mix is a huge thing, but Baker himself is such a lively personality that he kind of creates storylines on his own. And then number 1, because everything that's happened is just so, are you serious? Is that real? Like, is that a real storyline? Antonio Brown, just in general. Is that real? Yeah, that actually happened. He actually did get frostbite. That's real. Yep, that's real.
Yeah, we have quite a few overlapping ones. I think actually 3 or 4 of them. So number 5, I did Giants QB battle ? At the end of it because we've been told by the GM and the coach multiple times that there is no battle. Eli Manning's a starter. Daniel Jones is going to back up the rest of the season. I don't believe that. So I got Giants QB battle number 5. Number 4, I have the Bears running back situation as well because this one's very interesting to me. So you have Tariq Cohen, who's one of the best playmakers in the NFL right now at the running back position. He can do everything. He's a punt, kickoff, return specialist.
All-purpose yard guy.
Exactly. All-purpose yards, 100% good at he's a great yak yard guy. And then you have a guy like Mike Davis coming over from Seattle, who very well could have started in Seattle behind Chris Carson. He was one of the 4 horsemen that they had over there. Him and Rashard Penny, Mike Evans, they had Procise, and then there's just a slew of guys. And then trying to think of his name. There's one that I'm missing in Seattle, but now Mike Davis is there. And then you have David Montgomery, a guy who is absolutely mowing guys over in training camp right now. I said he'd be the best running back out of his draft class. I truly believe that. I think he will be probably the starter by the end of the season with Tariq Cohen being used in specialist roles. But I think Tariq Cohen's also a guy that you could use on third downs and maybe being a workhorse. I love Tariq Cohen. So I want to see how that.
Montgomery too.
Yeah, Dave Montgomery's my guy.
Took over games in Ames. So
yeah, Dave Montgomery's my guy. I love that guy. Right now, his depth chart sitting goes Tariq Cohen, Mike Davis, and then Dave Montgomery. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Then number 3, Antonio Brown. I specifically went for his feet because I've never heard of this for an NFL player getting frostbite from a cryogenic chamber. Just insane. We've already covered that. So number 2, I went with the Cleveland Browns as well. And just how many quotes are we going to get from these guys from non-stories? Okay, Duke Johnson finally got traded, so Baker Mayfield could stop talking about that. Then we have Freddie Kitchens coming out and saying, you guys talking about all these leaks that we've had in the Cleveland organization for several years now. He goes, those days are over. He goes, if I hear of a guy that has a leak, he leaks something out to the press here, they are fired immediately. Okay, Freddie.
Let's chill.
You never called plays in your life until Hugh Jackson was fired last season. And all of a sudden, you're sitting around here firing guys because you're saying that they're leaking things. And you're accusing people of leaking things to the media. It says, oh, you're fired. This is going to be a fantastic meltdown. Can't wait for it. And number 1, by far and away the most interesting thing of all time. I mean,
I'm not super familiar with this.
Okay, so in case you haven't, Trent Williams, one of the best left tackles in the NFL, plays for the Washington Redskins. He is now done with the Washington Redskins because he does not trust the coach and he does not trust the training staff. He does not trust the medical staff. They have been known to mishandle many injuries. Today, this is starting to develop. Today, Sua Cravens, former Washington Redskins safety, now with the Denver Broncos, I believe, also backed up Trent Williams' claims that this training staff is not doing their job, saying that they are faking injuries for guys, or they are covering injuries up rather for players and throwing them back out there saying that they're not injured, and stuff like that, saying that injuries never existed. Trent Williams does not trust the medical staff. You know how big of an issue that is? They are 100% of your livelihood in the NFL with non-guaranteed contracts, just like we were talking about earlier. Wow. They're 100% of your life.
Pretty crucial.
You have to trust that medical staff. Your best player, he is by far and away the best player on the Washington Redskins, one of the best players overall in the NFL, pound for pound, will not play for you anymore. He is done for the Washington Redskins. He says he will not play another snap for the Washington Redskins. And here's the best part. Their replacement for Eric Flower, or I kind of already gave it away.
You just spoiled
it. For Trent Williams is Eric Flowers.
Hooray! DeMarcus Lawrence is going to have a freaking heyday.
Well, you're going to have to switch sides because he plays the other side of the ball.
That's fine.
But in case you guys don't know who Eric Flowers is, he is notoriously known as the worst offensive lineman in the NFL. He is a running joke in the NFL. So, Trent Williams doesn't want to play for the Washington Redskins anymore. You have a revolving door over there left tackle. Things are going to look pretty ugly really fast for Dwayne Haskins or Case Keenum at the helm. This is by far the most interesting storyline I think I've ever seen. This is a guy who doesn't trust the head coach and doesn't trust the medical staff and is one of the best left tackles. He's 32. And at left tackle, 32, you still got some tread left on the tires. You can go till 38, maybe even 40 like Andrew Whitworth or Jason Peters. So he's got some tread left on the tires. And he's forfeiting his year to play. Absolutely. I mean, it's incredible what's happening with Trent Williams. So we're going to keep you updated with that one because I think that is absolutely important. So we're going to move on. Twitter question poll of the day, and then we're going to go to fact or fiction. You guys can stick around for it. So this one is actually, I'll be honest, I kind of plagiarized this one from Dan Patrick. I was listening to the podcast a few days ago. Would you rather watch every single minute of every single preseason game every night or not watch any preseason football whatsoever?
Oh, man.
Keep in mind, that's roughly a 5 to 6 hour commitment every single
I'm not watching any.
Not watching any?
I'm not watching any preseason.
It's almost unbearable to watch when the third and fourth stringers get in there, and all these
I
guys are gonna be
couldn't do it.
No, there's no way I could. Okay, moving on to fact or fiction. Austin, you're officially in a fact or fiction slump. You did 0 for 3 2 weeks ago. And then the last one we just did, you went 1 for 3. You're 16 of 33. Yeah, get back on track here, bud.
Boy, I need it.
Gotta get back on track. All right. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
All right, number 1. Though Bill Gates is one of the richest men in the world, he still serves as a janitor to his local church in Washington. Or that the sport of curling, trash talking is frowned upon. They call good sportsmanship the spirit of curling.
Boy, those both sound so real. I'm gonna say the curling one is real because I've watched some curling and I haven't seen any trash talking.
Congratulations, you are now trying to get out of the slump. Good job. Good job. Okay, so 1 of 1. And these 2 ones are pretty short, so I don't know if that's going to help or hurt you. So you're gonna have to see here. Number 2, the very first murder ever recorded in human history was done by a broadsword for decapitation, or that Portland, Oregon, was named off of a coin flip.
Gosh.
Now keep in mind, it's not the first murder ever. It's the first murder ever recorded.
Yeah. I'm going to say the Portland, Oregon one is real. Off on the coin flip.
You are killing it today, too.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations. All right. Yes, you're absolutely right. It was between Portland, Oregon, or Boston, Oregon.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Would have created some issues.
Yeah.
Okay. The worst you can do is 2 of 3. So you're already in a good spot here today. So, number 3.
Well, if I got this, I'd go crazy.
It's illegal to waste food in supermarkets in France, or that the most expensive lunchbox in the world is an original Superman design worth over $2 million.
Oh, I feel like that second one is true, but I feel like you might have changed the number of money or. So I'm going to say the France one is real. The food is real.
3 of 3.
Hey, let's go, baby.
Had a great day.
Sir.
You needed it. You definitely needed it. Now, I did not I just made that completely up on my own. So I did not doctor that whatsoever.
It sounds very believable, though.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. I brought my good stuff, and you brought great stuff.
And I needed it.
Yeah, good defense is negated by better offense.
Boy, what a comeback!
Yeah,
make up the 0-3.
I gotta give it to you, and now you're in a great spot. 19 of 36. That is incredible from where you just were. So congratulations. Unfortunately, we're moving to the last segment of the show. We're very sorry, guys. We know it's been a very long time since we've been here. We're sorry for the break. It won't happen again. We might have to adjust the times because now we're both going back to school. Maybe we'll adjust the days or maybe the times of the day we record it, but we're still going to.
I'm good.
I might have to because I'm taking night classes now, so I might have to do it earlier rather than later. I don't know, man. Hey, it's not up to me. So, okay. My bet of the day, okay? Jordan's bet of the day. I have 2 for you guys. I have plus 600 for the Redskins to be the worst team in the NFL this season. I truly believe that they will be the worst team in the NFL this season. This is a team that has a nasty front seven. You have killers up there. You have guys like Daron Payne, Ryan Kerrigan. Then you have guys in the backfield or in the secondary that are pretty good. You have like Josh Norman, guys like that. But I do believe that they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. Plus 600, I think, is a pretty generous bet. Especially with Trent Williams not being there, and you don't know who the quarterback is, and you have a head coach that's on the hot seat with Jay Gruden. So I have the Redskins at plus 600. And then another one I'm taking the under for Andrew Luck. They predict him to have 4,399.5 passing yards this season. The bet is minus 115 even. So you bet pretty much 11, 15, and you get your money back. So I'm taking the under for that one, mostly because Andrew Luck's never thrown that many passing yards. I mean,
Is he hurt too?
He is hurt.
Again?
He has a calf strain. He's practiced 3 times since April. 3 times since April.
This guy just can't catch a break.
This guy can't stay healthy. So he has never thrown that many yards in the first place. But I think Jacoby Brissett is probably going to get a start or two in this season due to injury for Andrew Luck. So take the under on that. It's an even bet as well. Minus 115. Go to town, guys. Go win some money.
Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer there, especially with the fact that he could be hurt again. So today in sports history, in 1950, the first ever international NFL game, which now we're starting to see more and more of that, took place between the New York Giants and the Canadian Football League, the Ottawa Rough Riders, and that was in 1950, and the Giants won 20-6. I feel like if the NFL and Canadian League played again, that would be a similar story. We're starting to see the NFL go over and play each other overseas rather than trying to play against other leagues because I think we kind of know when it comes to American football, obviously, who's better. And then today, Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford became the first teammates inducted into the Hall of Fame on the same day back in 1974. And I talked about Mickey Mantle a lot on this today in sports history because the amount of records and stuff that guy held is just pretty incredible. And Jordan and I have been where he first started out his career in Independence, Kansas.
Independence, Kansas. So our last chance for you.
Yes, sir.
Have you watched the 4th season?
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh.
I haven't finished it yet.
Great ending.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's by far the worst season of the 4. I mean, it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch. But you need to finish that. So, okay, that is it for Meet Me Halfway. We're right about at the 1 hour mark. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for staying with us. Hopefully, you guys keep tuning in. I mean, we had a long break. Maybe you forgot about us. Hello.
We're still here.
We're back. We're still here. All right. Meet Me Halfway. Jordan Griffith, Austin Norton Sells, and say bye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Thank you guys for watching. You have a great day.